Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Happy Hour podcast. Of course, my name's Ray. Matt's here along with me, and we are live 100% right here on Facebook Live with 98 Rocks, Justin Schlegel. Justin, how you doing, man?
I've missed you, man. How many years has it been since you and I have gotten to fellowship like this?
Man, shit. Let's see. AWL was 2013. So probably 2013 or so. And I know you've done a lot of stuff with MCW and, you know, just it's insane. And, you know, now I know a lot of the guys that, you know, Tommy Simbazo, Eric Woodward, help out on the show all the time. And you were saying something. You have a fun story about DJ Hyde. So I'll go ahead and let you just jump right.
I just remember at the AWL arena. Okay. Yeah. At the AWL arena, which I believe is just the Bel Air Armory.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That was really one of my first forays into getting to see the world of professional wrestling. I've never been in the world of professional wrestling. I still haven't, as much as I work at MCW, but you really brought me in to do some stuff with a tag team at the time called Fed Up. Yep. G-Fed, C-Fed, Chris and George, still dear friends with those guys over there. Chris, I love you. I miss you. George, we still talk. And you brought me in to do something with DJ Hyde from, I think it was CZW.
Yeah.
And I think David Starr, all right, way before modern stuff happened. And we were the faces, they were the bad guys, and I was coming in there as their second, and it was all laid out. Here's what's going to go down.
Yeah.
And I'm an idiot. I mean, I'm a smooth brain, thin-eyed, huff markers moron. If you've ever seen a Die Laughing Productions murder mystery with Tommy Simbazo, Eric Woodworth, and myself, I am the one cast member that no shit is holding his script on stage. I can't remember anything. I literally cannot remember anything. So these dudes are laying out this match, and you are very familiar in the world of wrestling. Matt, I'm not sure your level of expertise in that regard, but
I'm not expert at all. I've never wrestled, but
there's a lot of carny speak and there's a lot of shorthand. So to me, you have to say, Justin, I am going to attack you 3 minutes in with this chair. I will swing it left to right. Try and duck, and then when you come up, go for an eye gouge, and I will stop you. What they're saying is all right, you're gonna go hit a schmaz, do a thing, go out, powder, give me the heat, go ahead, I'm gonna Iggy you, pop on through. Justin, you come in, we're gonna put the heat on you, everybody goes through, we get the gimmick, 1, 2, 3. Everybody got that? I'm like,
Justin's just like, what's going on? And see, you telling me that, I had all registered. I all knew what you were saying.
Yeah, you knew. I just laid out this 5-star match that these guys were gonna have, and then they've got this dipshit Make-A-Wish kid in the middle of it. It's I don't know what most of those words were, sir. And then they're like, all right, guys, you're up in 4 minutes. I'm going, I don't know what's happening. So all of these guys are pros. DJ Hyde with CZW. If you're not familiar with CZW, look it up. That is where some dudes have cut their teeth doing some hardcore.
Adam Cole and John Moxley, both of them.
Did Janela come through there?
Yeah. John Moxley came from CZW. Drew Gulak was in CZW. So a lot of those guys, they also crossed through the EWA. Dean Ambrose, not as much, but I was able to work Adam Cole. I was able to work Drew Gulak. A lot of that. I was close with DJ. So, you know, it was.
And DJ's a pro, man. But DJ doesn't suffer fools. Yeah. And he has no allegiance to me. He has no idea who this moron is from this local radio station. This, dickbag comedian that smells like cat litter and a father's disrespect. And I completely miss my first moment. Yeah. And I have Chris, get in the ring right now. Get in the ring. I'm like, okay. And then I stand in the ring, and I'm standing in front of DJ Hyde, and I think I took a kendo stick or something.
A bat. You had a bat.
I had a bat. That's right. And I look at me. I've got no business trying to be confrontational with a man of that size and a pro wrestler of that caliber. And he's looking at me. He's like, do something. I'm like, I don't know if I should hit you with this. He goes, rake my eyes.
I don't know how to rake eyes. You're like, there's not a rake around.
I'm like, sir, I don't garden. I'm not good with a garden. He goes, rake my eyes. I'm like, So I go to rake his eyes. I miss his eyes. I catch him at his cheeks. I give him the worst face rake you've ever seen. And I apparently caught his lip with my pinky in pulled his lip down and like sliced his gum. He throws a forearm into me that a trained professional would have no problem taking and returning fire with. Me, on the other hand, 155 pounds, backpack full of bricks, coming in from a rainstorm like our friend Matt. I go stumbling ass over tea kettle and just, I don't think I ever told you this, just a little bit of poop. Like,
Just a little bit.
Little bit.
Don't feel bad, because there's moments when guys like that, like Austin shit his pants. There was a time, one of the guys, I teamed with him at AWL, Blood. He's one of my best friends. He slammed me so hard on the concrete floor, I fucking shit myself.
You just blew one out.
Like literally. And he did it on purpose because we're friends. So it was the kind of thing that he had me up, and I just heard him chuckle, and then he slammed me as hard as he could.
It's time to see what you had for breakfast.
Yeah.
And ba-bow.
Yeah.
And out it comes. Match is over. I've ruined everything. I mean, I missed 3 integral portions. I screwed it all up. And we get in the back, and the guys, you know, for those who don't know, they always ask, you know, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. How do you think it went? How do you think it went? And I'm kind of standing behind G-Fed, C-Fed and hiding them. He's like, yeah, things are good. Things are good. You screwed everything up. And that was good. And that was good. What's that smell? And then just walks off. And I'm like, I'm frozen in fear because I don't want to tell him that I have crapped my pants from a forearm.
Yeah.
You could probably give a 6-year-old a forearm and they might just miss their nap tomorrow. But he mollywopped me with one of these things because I botched it. So I ruined a match. I pissed off DJ Hyde. He told me I sucked, and I had to run over to the Target and replace my pants afterwards. But I always held that night in such high regard because that was the most involved anybody ever let me be in a match, and I fully shit the bed.
Well, I mean, it's the thing that with AWL, like Mike, he couldn't make it tonight, but my other co-host, Mike, he's the one who ran AWL.
Yeah.
It was his company. So, you know, I remember we ran a show in West Virginia a year before, and Adam Cole versus Charlie Haas was the main event. And then we're like, okay, you know, Mike kind of lost his ass a little bit. So we're like, all right, well, you know, he's like, well, now I want to do Maryland. So he chose the Bel Air Armory. And I remember we were flyering for the show, and I think we went to Ring of Honor. And I saw you coming out. I was like, hey, Justin, like I knew who you were from 98 Rock. I'm like, hey, Justin, hey, come to our show. And one thing I always tell people is to make sure you have a flyer with guys on the front that look like they're fucking wrestlers.
Yeah.
Sure enough, that flyer was, you're like, oh, I know this guy. I know this guy. I know this guy. I know this guy. You're like, oh man, I'll definitely come. And then I reached out to you and I was like, hey, do you want to be on the show? And you were like, well, I mean, I don't really know much of shit, but yeah, I was like, I'll put you in a manager role. And, you know, that's the thing. I trusted DJ and those guys with that. I know a lot of what I know from DJ. I owe
Yeah.
a ton. And that second show was great too, because you were with Fed Up for the second show too. And that was when the Hellcats couldn't make it. Actually, the Hellcats no-showed. And we did the whole Mustafa and Desert Storm.
That's right. Yes.
And that whole, just the way that worked, him being face at the beginning and then turning heel, and then at the end, Fed Up going over, like I booked all that stuff for AWO. And I'm like, that's one of the best things I ever booked. Because just by the way, the crowd went nuts. They hated them at the beginning. And then, you know, it's just crazy the way that's.
And you know what? I still hold that night in such high regard to such a degree. This is going to sound strange. Do either one of you get online and play games on your PlayStation?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to give my gamer tag out right now. It's Dangler, Dangler, like you're trying to shake a turd loose.
Yeah.
WFW, Dangler, WFW, which was my backyard federation growing up, World Friendship Wrestling. And I was the Dangler.
Friendship Wrestling.
World Friendship Wrestling. I was the Dangler. And my whole bit was that I had a brown leotard. And right when the bell would ring, and by bell, I mean, it was like literally like some kid's triangle from a local marching band, obviously on a trampoline. I would just dive on you and hold on to you, and you'd have to like shake me loose, like you're trying to shake loose like a turd, like a dangler. That's my screen name. That's not the story though.
Yeah.
If you look at my profile picture in there, this meant more to me than most anything I've done in stand-up, radio, comedy, whatever, because I just love pro wrestling so much that the second show that night, a dude came out and brought a Schlegel suck sign.
Nice.
And I was like,
I remember that.
Yes. That's amazing. Someone has a sign about me. And of course it says I suck, but I don't give a shit. I took a picture. The photo of the AWL Schlegel suck sign has been my PlayStation gamer tag photo for at least 12 years.
Nice.
And
That's gonna make Mike's day. When Mike watches this later, and I'm gonna text him when we're done, I'm gonna tell him that's gonna make his whole entire night complete. And I mean, I honestly, I didn't know that, like, you know, that was held in so high regard to you.
Oh,
you know,
amazing.
Like and that's the thing, like me, I've been around for so long. I don't think about anything like that because it's just second nature. I'm just kind of like, hey, you know, Justin's on the show, you know, this is what we want, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, me, that's the thing, you don't think about that kind of stuff, is that, you know, to you, that was a huge moment.
Oh,
but, you know, to me, I'm just running the show and, you know, worrying about my match and, you know, all that stuff. So yeah, I appreciate that.
It was great because I'm to this day, I'm just still such a fan. And even though I've had a couple of dalliances backstage with like an AWL or an MCW, or I had a fun AEW tryout last year. Yeah. I've never been a wrestler. I've never been trained. I'm just at most, I'm a fan that knows some people that do it professionally. So when I get to be back at an AWL or an MCW, or when I got to go see AEW backstage in Georgia, I'm back there just like, I'm sitting in a corner, I'm quivering, I'm trying not to like get in the way. I'm hiding under tables. I'm asking strange men if I can carry their bags. I don't know who you are, but I hear this is a thing that I should do. So can I carry your bag, sir? He's like, I'm in charge of the concession stand here tonight, but feel free. That's a box full of frozen pretzels. I said, you got it. I'm carrying it for you because I heard that's something that I should do to ingratiate myself. I legitimately tried to carry a man's bags when I was backstage with AEW that just worked for the arena and had nothing to do with the group.
I was gonna say,
so there was just this strange boy like, can I carry your bag, sir? I want to help you get to your destination. Like, well, I mean, if you want to, I'm in charge of the security cameras here tonight. And it's, well, mostly just crossword puzzles and snacks. So, I'll take it. I don't care where it's going.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Like, and of course, you know, we're sitting here and we honestly, we didn't think we'd be able to come, you know, live because we're having like the storm of the century here in Maryland. Dude, you know, tail end of the hurricane. And, you know, we were talking a little bit before we went live, you know, Matt just got here. Matt's, you know, all wet from the rain. Dude, it hammered in your area earlier. Like you and Joe M. Robinson, like my mom lives in Annapolis too. It literally rained shit down on like that, like over where Burger King and, you know, all that is just rabid.
West Street is destroyed right now. West Street is just completely wrecked. I mean, before I get into, you know, my tales of weather terror, Matt, you're the guy that's sort of our on-site meteorologist correspondent / soaked halter top. What was going on out there? Like, what were you seeing on the way in at 6:15, 6:20 at night?
Honestly, I didn't think it was that bad until, of course, when I got on the Beltway. the ride to getting onto the Beltway wasn't that, you know, it was fine. It was like, it looked like the sun was trying to come out. And then I get on the Beltway and it starts fucking downpouring. And I'm like, oh God. But, you know, I was like, I kind of panicked. I didn't know whether to speed up or slow down. So I kind of naturally sped up.
Can I ask what kind of car you drive? What are you driving?
Jeep Cherokee.
Okay, so you're in the vehicle that's going to be able to get you through this thing. I'm driving to work this morning. I usually pull out of my driveway at about 3:30 a.m. and it just got started. And I made it through Severna Park, Arnold, and I started making my way up towards Glen Burnie, towards the city on 295. And that's when the whole goddamn sky opened. And in the morning, all there really is, there's me, there's long haul truckers, the occasional cop, and some guy on his way to Linthicum to buy Adderall from a middle schooler. And there's trucks ripping by me. And every time they do, it's just this wave of water across my windshield, wave of water. And I'm doing probably 35, maybe 40 in a 60, 65. When, like they're being chased, someone in a Toyota Yaris. You ever seen Yaris? Yes. Like if you buy any other Toyota, they just give you a Yaris. A Yaris, yes. It sounds like an effeminate pirate came up with it. They just, you can just get a Yaris. You can get a Yaris out of a claw machine. This dude comes ripping past me at like 80 miles per hour. I'm like, well, that guy's either late for work or has to take a shit. And he's gone 20 miles up the road. I say 20, it might have been 5. I see that same dude in the ditch, ass up, lights in the air. There's already somebody pulled over. And it was like, God, is this going to be what the day is? So, and then to your point, Ray, the rest of the day, it kind of calms down a little bit. It pops back off. Have you seen South River High School? South River High School has been wrecked.
Really?
Yes. One of the worst Burger Kings in the world. And by worst Burger Kings, I just mean Burger King on West Street. Somehow survived. Not a nick, not a scratch. The golden arches are tipped over around there. There's a safe light that needs their glass replaced. Yeah. Joe M. Robinson. Okay, I'll give you guys an exclusive here on the Happy Hour podcast. We're talking to him tomorrow. So Joe, myself, and his smoke show of a wife, we're talking earlier. And I see that they are, by they, I mean WBAL, pronouns pal. We're down on West Street, like interviewing people. And I'm looking at this card and I'm like, Jesus, that's where Joe lives right now. This is insane. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm texting Joe. I'm like, that's in front of your place. This is nuts. And we're in a big friendly family group chat with all the Die Laughing Productions people, Eric, Tommy, myself. Yeah. And she says, you hear power surges, you hear like electrical crackling, you hear the sound of like roaring thunder. She thought she heard a scream outside. You heard what sounded like the world's largest chopstick just get shattered in half by the hands of Odin. Joe's on the phone the entire time and has no idea any of this has happened.
That's awesome.
He thinks it's the TV in the other room. He thinks that they're just watching like a Jerry Bruckheimer film or like The Day After Tomorrow. They're like, hey, would you keep it down back there? I'm trying to approve someone's Social Security. Anyway, so how old are you? 95? Yeah, pocket yours. And he like comes to and looks outside. He's like, what the hell did I miss?
I mean, what do you think all that was in the background?
What did you think that was? I wasn't watching, some sort of San Andreas starring The Rock. This was out front. Okay, the McDonald's that was there is now over here.
His pants, like
yes. This is nature tearing this place of fresh. So yeah, we're going to talk to him tomorrow about. Oh, by the way, it was a tornado. A tornado spun. A tornado waved at Joe on the way by, and Joe was just like, I don't know. It's like a guy in a boat in the air clutching onto his wife and Dalmatian just got sucked up in the atmosphere. No one's seen it again. And Joe somehow like completely misses it. Like it's like that phenomenon in New York that you've seen photos of like people that pass out. And then for whatever reason, Tom Hanks like sneaks up behind them in a bar and takes a photo with them. You're like, and you look at your phone the next day, like, was I blacked out and Tom Hanks was there? Joe somehow missed some like category 3 tornado because he was, burning through his anytime minutes.
He could have died and he wouldn't even know it.
Well, it's funny because where I work, I work right next to one. Like I deliver copiers for a living. I work right next to one of my old companies. And when we were there, it used to flood so bad, like basically that stream that runs in White Marsh.
Yeah.
Run behind that building. So before they did all that work on 95, what would happen is that stream would overflow and it would come up through the fucking sewage vents.
Ooh.
All that stuff. Like it would come up from there and it would flood that whole area. We lost our dumpster 4 times. 4 times the dumpster floated and fell off the side of 95, like where that overpass was. Like it was down over there.
How do you recover that thing?
We don't. We had to.
It's just there.
We had to call Waste Management. It's like a permanent part, I guess, down there now.
Oh, that's not like some hobo's summer home.
Yeah, that's what it is now. And
it's just connecting them all together.
Yeah, there's like this hobo compound down there of all these like dumpsters lined up, and their front door is like the flap that flips open. They've actually propped them up with like a pool cue. They're having cookouts down there, all because of your dumpsters floating away.
Yeah. There's like 4. They probably like found a blowtorch. You just blowtorch them all together, and then this one big huge mansion.
Welcome to Derelict Mansion. Let me take you into the East Wing. This is where we keep the recycling. The one to the left, the light blue one, that's where we do our dumping. And off to the right is the dining chambers. Come, we found a hot pocket.
And we also had about like, I would say about 100. We would put our wooden pallets outside until we had enough to get rid of them. All those pallets gone. Was just gone. Wiped them all away. Someone said that they had once saw the water filled up so much and it was flowing so bad that they saw a deer in the water just trying to tread water. Just going, no. They got swept away.
God, this thing's just like balanced. It's like boogie boarding on one of these pallets. Just making its way down. Oh, that's awful. God. And that water, by the way, you ain't making sun tea with that shit. This is pink eye broth. If you get any of this stuff on you, you're getting gingivitis, the rickets, the world's itchiest butthole. And if it's coming anywhere near your eye, I mean, get ready for that thing to be just crusty. Yeah. So any of that.
one of the 4 times I was out on the truck and they called me and they're like, we need you to get back as quick as you can. And I'm like over on the other side of town. And when I got back, the water had gotten so high, there was probably about like this much water in the bottom of my car and the floorboards. And they were like, we don't think you're going to be able to get your car out. I'm like, the fuck I'm not. I threw it in reverse, shot like 80 miles an hour back, swooped around, got out of there. And that car smelled so bad.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, my wife was like, what the hell happened to the car? I was like, I was out on the truck and, they were like, leave your keys. And of course I didn't leave my keys because I was like, oh, whatever, it'll be fine. And then I end up with, poop car. So
poop car. Great gimmick, by the way. If anybody's looking for a nice indie-rific, it's sort of like a down on his luck transformer. His poop car. All right, he just transforms into some shitty robot that's behind his payment on his cyborg child support. He's just got little like pieces of crust all over him. He transforms into a Toyota Yaris, just covered in all kinds of brown. Hey, can I ask you something kind of strange, like out of left field? Tommy Simbazo, did he ever? When was the last time you had Tommy on?
Oh shit! What was?
He was
actually on a couple weeks ago. Yeah, he was on a couple weeks ago.
Did he tell you about the? Because Tommy is a guy who is so unique, and I happen to find rather attractive. And so
I love Tommy.
Oh, Tommy might be one of the most creative. He's one of my best friends, but Tommy might be one of the most loquacious, creative people I've ever met, but also a man capable of shocking violence. And I've thought before, Tommy Simbazo. Oh yeah, if you tangle with Tommy Simbazo right before you throw that first punch, text someone you love them just so you get one last chance because it's going to end badly. I thought that.
He did mention a fight that he got into, I think.
Yeah, he mentioned a fight. He mentioned something at our anniversary episode. He was mentioning a fight at Magooby's that he.
Did he talk about the move?
Yes.
Monkey grabs the peach. I got to see that in person at Magooby's. And I know everything that's gone down with Joey Ryan. Okay, I guess he's found God. He doesn't let anybody comment on his Instagrams. He makes hour-long pathetic YouTube apologies. But he did have the funny crotch grab maneuver in the ring. I want Tommy, some way, shape, or form, to somehow get involved in the world of professional wrestling, to turn almost like a Von Erich claw or something. I want his move. I need his finishing maneuver to be the monkey grabs the peach. And I need him to dress in all of his like steampunk gear, his homemade armor, which he makes out of discarded stop signs, by the way. That's no bullshit. Tommy's building plate mail out of old signs because he got bored. And I just want to see him in the ring, just grab a dude's hog and squeeze it until he taps.
Yeah.
I want him to be involved in wrestling so bad I can't put it into words.
It's funny. I love Tommy. Like the first time I met Tommy, I interviewed him. And he's like, you want to do it in person? I'm like, yeah. So I had him come to the house. So he came to the house. We hung out. And of course, we drank on the show. And like, he did the shot. He drank. He's like, man, I had to stop at fucking Pizza John's when I left your house. He's like, I was so tore up that,
Tommy doesn't drink. He's not a drinker. Tommy gets down on whatever Tommy wants to get down on. And I'll leave it at that.
He loves the mushroom juice.
Mushroom tea.
The mushroom tea.
Can't confirm or deny. But I went to an outdoor, drive-in movie theater, because indoor drive-in movie theaters, Justin, you're a dipshit. We went to a drive-in movie theater like a year or two ago, and it was like one of the first times I've ever seen him drink, and we were passing around a bottle of Screwball peanut butter whiskey.
Yeah.
And I mean, easy drinking. People are passing around, and I'm not saying like he was guzzling it like it was like Sweet Leaf iced tea, but he had a few pulls, and later on that night, he was throwing himself up inside out. We're like, God, we hope he's okay. And I didn't realize, and Joe Robinson, by the way, is the same way. They're not drinkers. Like Joe will have like 2 Malibu and diets, and you need to put him into a stroller. Meanwhile, he'll do some other stuff out there that had put some Grateful Dead fans to shame, and he will be ready to talk to a cop an hour later and take the SATs. Eric Woodworth and myself, we're the ones that will put back just cases of booze. That's sort of our vice. That's another guy too. Eric has dabbled briefly against me in pro wrestling, and that's a guy that, because of his rugby background, is just raw power.
Oh yeah,
I've rarely felt somebody scary stronger. Like Tommy will do something weird to you, like get you with a box cutter and then hit you with a super soaker filled with urine, but Eric will just grab you and sort of, a Lenny from Of Mice and Men, just squeeze your head until it pops.
Squeeze your head until your eyeballs pop out like in Friday the 13th Part 3.
Yeah, exactly. Like I just did a a pro wrestling comedy show. It was Comedy Mania with the big time in comedy guys, Stefan and Eric, up in Havre de Grace at the theater there. And Eric and I were going to get into a back and forth. Ryan McBride, former MCW champion, Shamrock Cup winner, was going to come out, and it was going to be a whole to-do. And I was going to take the DVD, the Death Valley Driver, and I was going to eat a super kick, both of which are just pillow soft when they're done by Ryan. Total pro.
Oh, yeah. I've worked Ryan half dozen times.
Best drop kick next to Bob Holly in the country. And I'll go to my grave saying that Ryan McBride, silver medal to Bob Holly's gold. Yeah. But Eric, he's in charge. He's so excited. He has to hook my arms behind my back to hold me in place to take a couple of chest chops. Yeah. And a chest chop doesn't feel great, but you can manage.
Yeah.
But Eric wrenches my arms so far back, and I go like, stop, because I feel
You're
like
breaking my spine.
I'm feeling like my rotator cuff pull. I'm feeling like ligaments start to like, boing, 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 to where I had like, it's the only time I've ever in the ring have to look at someone and go, please stop doing it. Please stop doing it. And like the next week, I had these purple suspender bruises from my trap all the way to my armpit, from Eric Woodworth just taking me in that rugby grizzly strength of his and just pulling it back. And he's pulling my arms like he's trying to remove meat off of a chicken wing. He's like, this is great, man. You having fun? I'm like, let me go. Please let me go. And then boom. Oh, God. So I'm getting chopped at the same time while he's pulling my arms out of my sockets. And the next thing you know, I get DVD'd and we raise a bunch of money for cancer.
There you go.
Oh, my God. And we know from 98 Rock, you're a huge Transformers fan.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a theory, like I've been having a theory lately, and I wanted to throw it to you about Transformers, is that I feel that Jeffrey Bezos has found Optimus Prime, and he has found the power of the Transformers. And the reason why Amazon Prime is never late, they never have a truck go off, is because the Autobots and Optimus. You notice on the truck, it says there's a lot more to Prime. And I'm like, is this telling me that Bezos has recruited the Autobots and they are now working for Amazon? Why do you think they're on time? Because it transforms and they run across fucking fields and then retransform and get on the other side of the road and just keep going. Someone doesn't like a return. Okay. Yeah. Rips through the top of the house, grabs the box out, puts it back in the truck, and goes.
Okay, I want you to be, because we're old friends that are catching up, and I want you to shoot straight with me here. Okay. Did Tommy leave some tea at that house? Tommy left a little tea at that house, didn't he? Did he? Was a little something at that house? Because he enjoys himself some Lipton. Okay. I'm just saying, right? I think you might have a gas leak in your house. Okay. I think you've been huffing butane.
That's a pretty good conspiracy theory. All the conspiracy theories coming out now. That's pretty good. Actually.
Yeah, I mean,
that's pretty well thought out.
Just imagine, because every time I see that, there's a lot more to Prime. I'm like,
I can tell you that was a better plot than 90% of the movies. All right. I mean, if that was the sequel, if that was Revenge of the Fallen, I'd be like, this is a great film. Optimus down on his luck. RC left him. He had to get a second job. He's transforming into an Amazon delivery truck just to make ends meet. Bumblebee got some whore pregnant behind Bamboo Bernie's. It was probably like some Kona ice truck he decided to hump. Now he's got some small little gadget on the way. Optimus is housing all of them, so he's got to make it work out. And then I love it. And then Bezos turns out to be one of those imposter transformers where it's actually, he's not even human, pulls off, oh shit, it's Bezos-tron. Okay, he's basically the Megatron of that thing. He's been his evil boss.
Well, he was never in the spaceship. He transformed into the spaceship and flew up like Starscream.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah. That stupid piece of crap, penis-looking rocket, by the way. Okay, Dong 1. Okay, Phallic XL that took off. I mean, that guy really tried to F the universe in that Wang rocket of his. That was Megatron. That was Megacock. Yep. That's what he was inside of with that gimpy looking YMCA cowboy hat of his. I love your theory. I love the theory. I wish it was true. I also need to know where you live so I can move to the neighborhood where your Amazon delivery is never late, because my shit's I don't know what happened last year, but he threw double middle fingers in the air, Stone Cold style. It was like 24 hours next day, pounded in your ass. It's going to get there when it gets there. Lube, yoga mat, your heart medication. It'll get there when I feel like it because I want to see what the stars look like up close, bitch. Optimus, bring Justin his heart meds. He's feeling a little shaky before bed. Yeah, they ain't never on time in this place. I'm not sure it's because I live in Annapolis, which is 1,000 miles from normal human civilization. It's just nothing but kids that own kayaks named Brinlin with grass allergies. But none of them are ever on time in this neighborhood. And when they do show up in those stupid off gray blue trucks, they just stop in the middle of the road. They're not pulling over.
They do stop right in the middle. You're like, dude, I need to get by. Like,
I gotta get by you. Okay. My friend Matt drives a Jeep. We will just ram into this thing because this vehicle looks like it's made out of aluminum and GEDs. We will push this thing out of the way. All right. I love it. I need you to put that down as a treatment, and I'll reach out to anybody I know on the West Coast. Be like, get a hold of Bay, get him back behind the driver's seat. He's got to direct this next thing. Okay. Optimus, Amazon Prime.
Could you imagine that though? A movie with the Transformers, like they come on the hard times, like, you know, it's like they're not like it. They're hated by the world so much for the damage they've caused. Right. That like now you just see like one of them, they're homeless. At various times you see Optimus looking at a revolver, ready to just blow his robot brain.
It's just like quivering in his hands. Like he keeps stopping himself. The gun keeps transforming into a little robot, telling him not to. Turn back into it. Damn it! All right, where was I? Come on, Shockwave. Come on, man. You owe me this. What the hell? He's renamed like Optimus Grime because he's just so shitty looking. Like his Ironhide's out there looking like total hell. He's up on the blocks in the front yard. Like he's crippled. Basically, they're just all crippled from all their horrible battles. So Ironhide, he's up on blocks. Ratchet, his engine won't start, so they just got a tarp over his ass. Right. Like I said, Bumblebee's a deadbeat dad at this point. He was just humping all kinds of ice cream trucks and accidentally got a good humor truck pregnant that really ended up being some actual living Autobot. Soundwave, horrible local DJ. God, what else? The Insecticons are just infesting the neighborhood. There's got to be a Transformer that turns into a double wide. There's got to be one that like breaks apart and they're twins.
Yeah.
But they just talk in this Waldorfian slang.
They live in the dumpsters behind my old job. That's where the homeless Transformers live, is in that dumpster.
Oh my God, that's amazing. There's an outdoor air conditioning unit that turns into a robot. There's a dumpster, there's a double wide, there's a mobile STD clinic, there's a needle exchange van. It's just like the shitty like Flint, Michigan edition of Transformers.
Oh God, we're gonna have to make this now.
Yeah, we're gonna have to write the script. And what we're gonna do real quick is for everybody listening at home on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever else you find your podcasts, we're going to take a quick break, play a song, play some of our sponsors, and we'll be right back with Justin Schlegel. For those of you live, you know how this works. We just keep on rolling along. Welcome back to the Happy Hour podcast. Of course, I'm Ray. I'm here with Matt. And of course, I'm here with Justin from 98 Rock. And what we're going to do real quick, so we're going to get into our beer of the week. Of course, we're trying to clear out my beer drawer in my refrigerator because we've had so many beers of the week that I just need to get this shit out of my house. So now, since summer is pretty much coming to an end and we're getting ready to go into fall, we are going to close it out with Bud Light Lemonade. So Bud Light Lemonade is our featured beer right now for this week. So shout out to Bud Light, their Bud Light Lemonade. And what we're going to do is we're starting to run low on this. Our featured shot, which, Justin, this is what it is. It's Polo Club Gin, and I highly advise you to never drink this.
It's aftershave.
It tastes the way aftershave smells, and you're about to see our heart.
No. I'd rather drink actual Polo than gin. I hate gin. I don't care if it's $1,000 gin or $10 gin. Yeah. Gin tastes like a melting Christmas tree. I cannot stand gin. I love alcohol. I mean, I have a love affair with alcohol. Gin is the one I cannot dance with.
Yeah, it's awful. And I mean, that's the thing. Like, you know, we've tried a lot of stuff, but up next is the Metallica whiskey. So
blackened. I have had that.
Yeah, and I'm excited for that. So that's the next one that we have
There's
on
not
the
much left
docket.
in there.
So,
Oh, you're gonna fry your palate up with that gin. Damn, I feel like you're doing these things out of order, but your show, man. Go off, Queen. Go off.
there we
All right.
go. All right, ready? Here we go. Jesus Christ, Evan. Oh God. Oh.
Oh,
So
that's terrible.
while our palate recleanses itself, we're going to get into our
I'm glad it's straightforward.
our ode to humanity segment. So what we normally do is we start off with 5-second rule. Justin, have you played 5-second rule before?
Refresh me. 5-second rule. If it touches the floor, you got 5 seconds to pick it up and eat it.
No, 5-second rule.
No, not-
Basically,
not that one.
yeah, we pretty much give you a category and say name 3 of that category, and you have 5 seconds to answer. If you don't
Okay.
get
All right.
it goes to Matt. Matt doesn't get it. It goes to me. If we all get it, we're just
Okay. And each one of us try and name 3 at a time.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, you'll go, and if you don't get it, whatever you say, Matt can't repeat. So, Justin, what I want you to do, let me get this ready, is to name 3 gifts you should never give, starting now.
Catheter, HIV, unexpected pregnancy.
All right, now it's
Yep.
easy enough.
I was definitely going to say some sort of STD.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. So,
Good job.
and then what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to pin myself. So the next, have you ever played Incoherent?
No, I haven't.
All right. So Incoherent pretty much is I'm going to hold up a card that is in drunken lingo, and you're going to sound it out and try to figure out what the card says.
Okay.
And hints. Let me know. I can give you hints that are on the back of the card.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I got it. Okay. Snap both facts. Snap both hacks. Snap both hacks.
Would you like a hint?
I'm gonna guess. Is it Snapple facts like the
Yes,
beverage?
yes,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
facts. And the hints were liquid knowledge. And then the second one was a source of invaluable talking points that make you sound smart.
Oh, I love this. Let me do another one of those. I love this game. I've never heard. What's it called again?
It's called Incoherent. Actually,
Oh,
let me
I'm gonna
look
get
real
these.
quick. I'll
These are
grab some.
great. Oh, these are awesome. You know what you guys should play sometime, or see if you can maybe get into the inner circle of the Tommy Simbazo Die Laughing Laugh Finder Cabal. Have you ever played Quiplash, Matt?
I have not.
You should look into Quiplash. The way that
I
certain high profile CEOs or celebrity rock star chefs will have weird underground fight clubs or multi-million-dollar poker nights and these weird, sketchy down by the docks warehouses. We have a very, I shouldn't even be talking about this. I shouldn't even be talking about this. But we have a group of people that play Quiplash, which is where you just sort of mad lib and answer some questions. And it might be some of the most vile, soul-crushing burns you could ever experience. It turns into a roast game show. And when you get 5, 6, 7 comics that have imbibed that night, where you all understand you're such good friends that there's nothing you could say that'll upset us, including sex acts on recently deceased relatives, it gets real gnarly. So at some point when you break bread again with Eric or Tommy, ask for the invite one night into a secret game of Quiplash, and let's see if you can get to bed. Okay, give me another one.
I did it on their show, the Laugh Finder podcast.
You did a Laugh Finder Quiplash?
Yeah.
Ooh, don't ever live stream that
2 or
thing.
3 times, yeah.
Don't ever live stream that thing. No one else can see it.
And all right, so here's another one.
Okay. Diggs a king lives. I don't get this right here. Okay. Oh my God. Diggs a king lives. Diggs a king lives. Diggs a king lives. Desert king. Give me some hints. I don't know.
All right, so one of the hints is orally gifted.
Okay.
And then the other is, for some people, gift wrapping just comes naturally.
This a king lives. This a king lives. This a king. I don't. Oh my God! It sounds like ODB freestyling.
All right, you want me to tell you what this one is?
Give it to me.
Dick sucking lips.
Jesus, man. You should have given me another hint. You don't have them, Justin.
All right. So here's another one. I'll let you do another one. There you go.
Okay.
And you can see like each one is a different color, so it's a different category. Like it's
Okay. Never have I ever. Never have I ever.
Yes.
Yes.
Never have I ever.
Never have I ever. The game.
We'll do two more.
Okay.
All right. This might be a good one. All right.
Okay. Matt's already laughing at it. Okay. Glory hole. Okay. Now this I have a lot of experience with. Okay. You got to drill it about waist high. You got to cover it in soft duct tape, if not padding. And you got to make sure you tap your toes twice to let them know, hey, here comes the sausage. It's a glory hole.
Yes.
Yes.
And some of these hints are great.
What were the hints for that one?
Is anonymous pleasure. And then it says a round hole drilled through a wall that acts as a gateway for a penis to enter the other's round holes.
Wait, that was a hint?
Yes.
That's just a description. That's just telling you exactly what it is. That's okay. If you had one that said like, woo, okay, what's the hint? A battery-powered sex toy that's shaped exactly like a man's penis that a woman uses on herself to extract orgasmic pleasure. Like, I know exactly what that means. God, I don't. Whoever wrote that hint that day at the what the game's called, Mumble Mouth, they were short timing it that day. That hint was written at 4:55 on a Friday.
All right, you ready for another one?
Yes, I'd love one.
All right, there we go.
Here we go. Trunk holes. I love it. I don't even know what it means. Trunk holes. Trunk hole. I mean, I could be the former president's proctologist looking at him going, Trump's got holes. Trump has got holes. Trump has got holes. Trump got holes. I need a hint.
Tipsy eyes.
Tipsy eye. Trump got holes. Drunk goggles.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. You know what? Justin's on a roll, so we're going to do a couple more. You up for a couple more?
Yeah. Please. This is a great game.
All right. So let's do this one. So this isn't a red one. So this one isn't too vulgar. So here we go.
Starboger. This is the Sport of Kings. My entire family plays this every Christmas. As soon as Nana shows up, and my dad always loses on purpose, it's strip poker. That's right. I've seen his balls.
Family plays strip poker every holiday.
Every holiday we get together. As soon as Nana gets there and breaks out that onion loaf of hers, it is time for a deck of cards. And my dad's like, oops, I got nothing again. All these ones match.
All right. So we'll do two more, and then we'll go on to Cards Against Humanity.
Okay.
And
which I've never played like this. Okay. Bull hockey. Oh God.
He's got that one.
Oh yeah. Let's just say I like a lot of gravy on my taters too, and cream chip beef is one of my favorite breakfast delights. That would be a bukkake.
Yes. And
You gotta read the hints.
The hints: group effort, and then a generous helpings of man-made facial cream.
God, they're not even like subtle. Like in my industry, we've got to do a lot of dancing around stuff and double entendre. Whoever came up with this game is fired day one. Like they're gone. They're way fired. Are we still on Facebook, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Okay, it's one of my favorite punk rock bands from the 80s, the Circle Jerk.
Is it really good, or is it really that easy?
The hint is helping hand, and then seeking out people with the same opinions as you, so you can sit around agreeing with each other.
Oh my God. Oh, okay. I need you to forward me. I'm going to buy this game just to reach out to the manufacturers and be like,
you know what's great? I got that game for Christmas. Like my wife's cousin gave me that game for Christmas. We did Secret Santa, and she gave me that. I'm like, this is the best. Like I use it on the podcast every week, and I'm like, this is fucking amazing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do Cards Against Humanity. So the way we play it on the show is we have the black card, and then we have the face card, and then the 4 white, category cards.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna read off the face card and then give you 4 options, and you're gonna choose which option you best think answers the main card. You want to read
Okay.
them off, Matt?
Sure.
What if I blindly pick one? Give me the answer card and I just be like 1, 2, 3, or 4, and whatever the hell you pull is whatever the hell it is. They give me something horrible. Your game. Okay, take it away.
You played Cards Against Humanity, right?
Yes.
All right. So the black card says, "Hi, this is Jim from accounting. We noticed a $1,200 charge labeled blank. Can you explain?"
Got it.
Okay. So the answer cards are the peaceful and non-threatening rise of China, cybernetic enhancements, flying robots that kill people, and firing a rifle into the air while balls deep in a squealing hog.
I mean, is there any question
Yeah.
in regards to this one? Okay. Is there any question in regards to this
We're
one?
gonna go with number 4.
Okay. I mean, of course it's flying robots. I love flying robots that rain death down from above. That screams Starscream. That screams Thundercracker. That screams Skywarp. Dirge. Come on. That's exactly what I'm looking at. You're going to spend top quality money on some Decepticon, one of the Seekers that are going to rain hell down on you. Looking at you, Ramjet. All right. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Good one. Good one. Yes. Flying robots that rain death from above.
And
I mean, as much as I'd like to be balls deep in a squealing hog while firing off my rifle, I'm going to go with cybernetic enhancements.
I actually kind of
that'll
like
kick ass.
flying robots that kill people as well.
All right. Matt, if you check your phone in a second, I am forwarding you a number of an XX of mine if you want to make that dream come to reality. And there we go. Okay. Yes. Her name is Mike.
And Justin, of course, we know you have a lot of stuff. Well, what's all that behind you? And it looks like RoboCop, it looks like Alien.
There's a lot going on back here. Yeah, this is just this is one part of the room. I'm not sure if you've ever had anybody do this before, but I can disconnect, reconnect with this, and give you sort of the tour, which is kind of something because there is stuff.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about your arcade and all that as well.
There's stuff behind that door back there that's kind of intense. So hold on, why don't you check your Zoom invite in a second. You're going to see someone requesting access. Here we are. Give me a second. See anybody requesting to be let in?
It's Justin Schlegel.
Oh, I know that fella. Real piece of shit. All right. There we go. All right.
What is that?
That's just me. Really drunk. All right. So we are going to go ahead and kill that.
What is that?
That's just some random beer.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That doesn't look like one we've had on the show. Yeah. All right. There he is. We don't have sound.
It's connecting audio. There it is.
There we go.
Got me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
Right. Well, here we go. This is the office here. These are the Transformers. So
Wow.
there you are. There's the Transformers there.
I don't see the Amazon Prime one.
That's when your movie gets made and you make it. Okay. The collaboration the world didn't know it needed. You've got your Mandalorian.
There you go.
All your various Transformers and knickknacks and what have you. That's just one shelf of Transformers. We've got these guys right over here. That's the second shelf.
Wow.
There we go. Now, those are all the originals. Here, come this way.
Hey, come on. Hey, this is like Cribs with Justin. Like right now, it's like an episode of Cribs.
Now we're going into the inner sanctum. Now, this is the room that if Daddy's inside of, no one's allowed to bother him. Because, as you said earlier in one of those Quiplash questions, balls deep in a little bourbon. All right? This is the vault of the toys right here. So, yeah, this is just an entire like temple collection room.
Holy shit.
Of all Transformers, everything. Yeah.
Wow.
And it just goes from the ground to the TV all the way back around.
Wow.
Yep. Look, I've even got little
I've even got little knit ones right there too. Look at that little font.
Knit Transformers.
I've even got knit ones. And then yes, unfortunately it's not on right now, but you'll get an idea. If I come back out here, so this is we're leaving. So that was the inner sanctum. This here is sort of the inner dork sanctum.
Wow.
And then we have this fella right here. Ooh, it's dark. I sure hope the power isn't out. I can't my family members to survive.
That'd be great. Justin's just downstairs doing a podcast, doing incoherent, and his family's just in the dark, just being ripped apart by a tornado.
Yeah, look, there's no roof, but luckily my Galaga machine survived. So, so here we are here. This is the beginning of the arcade. Right around there, we've got your Galagas, Asteroids, Pac-Mans. We make our way to the eastern wing for your Rampages, Final Fights, Mortal Kombats, Centipedes, what have you. And then we swing on around here to the rest of it with your Space Invaders and Star Wars, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then back here in the corner, the rest of it with some pinball, Neo Geo, Buck Hunter, Burger Time, Outrun, and all that. So that is the entire downstairs sort of arcade everything.
That's awesome. You know what you need arcade-wise? You need WrestleFest.
Oh, I have heard that they did, what's it called? I think it's called Retromania.
Yeah.
Retromania, if you like that, you can get it. It's the WWE. Shocker doesn't want to give up the rights to their product. The company that makes those machines out there are called Arcade One Up. You sort of build them yourselves like IKEA furniture. And they have certain licenses, The Simpsons and X-Men and Sega stuff and all that. But the WWE is not all that excited about giving up their rights and their likenesses to something that ain't theirs. So, yeah. Anyways, heading on back to the and there we.
And hi, welcome back.
I think that's the first time we've ever had something like that
Pretty cool.
on the show.
That
was awesome. And of course, we got a lot of people that are commenting on the live feed too. Of course, Tom Nutty, we all know Tom.
Tom's going to be doing a show with me October 29th at Magooby's early show. Tom has been such a sweet man for a long time, and I'm not going to say the catchphrase, but Tom Nutty. We're all going to be enjoying a fun night of comedy. Joe Robinson's return from comedic exile. He hasn't done stand-up in years. He's going to be back on stage the first time that night, October 29th. And Tom is going to be on that show as a guest set, and I will be headlining. I don't know who's emceeing, but Tom will be there.
He said that there's somewhere there is a custom Funko Pop he had commissioned for you.
Yeah, God, it's around here. Oh, I think it's actually, I believe it's back there on my shelf. There's one there.
Okay.
There's one back there. Also, you see that one Funko?
Yeah.
And then there's the other one right there. There you go. One of them, I believe that was Tom's, and that one was done by Thomas Pierce, who's a great local artist. So
actually, I think Thomas Pierce is he related to Scott?
Yeah, it's Scott's child's mother's brother. He does all of the art in here. Like he did that piece for me. Oh yeah, he does all the artwork in my office. He's done.
Yeah, above my bed in my bedroom, it's a picture of me and my wife when we got engaged. We're on a beach in Mexico. And
he's Thomas. Whatever he charges, Thomas should charge double. Whatever Tommy charged for his portraits, he should charge double because he's an unbelievable artist.
And actually, it's funny because my friend Chris, who's in the live feed, I forgot when we were playing the game, and we had Glory Hole as one of the cards. He's like, tell Justin about the time you wrote a Glory Hole for Halloween. And I did a Glory Hole. It was actually when you guys still did the 98 Rock costume contest.
Oh my God, down in Fells.
Yeah. And it was insane. It was 2008. I think it was 2008. I went and all I did was I got a piece of particle board and I gave it away. And some woman I knew had like a hollowed out fucking dildo, and we epoxied it to the front, and it said Glory Hole, and it was just sticking out the front. Also, it was Glory Hole with arrows sticking out the front. Dude, we took that thing down to Fells Point, and so many people jerked it off. men, women were blowing it. It was insane. I had never seen anything like that in my entire life.
Had we found each other that night, okay, there's a good chance we probably would have had a very strange handshake. And I remember who was with us that night. So weird you brought this up because I was just talking about this with someone the other day. That night, 2008, 98 Rock does its big Fells Point show back when you could go down there, have fun. Your car would still be there and you didn't suffer from a gut shot. And we had a brand new, fresh to town, still had no idea which way was north or south or even what a crab cake looked like. Rookie Joe Flacco was with us that evening. Yes. Sitting in dog watch with us, sitting in the back, like secretly like sipping beers, trying to get like not noticed by management. We're getting Joe Flacco wrecked. We are pouring so much booze and we're like, this guy rules. We had no idea he'd eventually turn out to be a Super Bowl winning championship quarterback and has way since moved on from us.
Maybe some of the alcohol, maybe that helped out. Maybe that like it kind of like, you know,
yeah, you were just helping out with this congestion. Boy, the eyebrow went from one side to the other too back then also. It was nice. Yeah, he was great. But yeah, who knows? I probably in my drunken stupor myself, Huber and Scott and Amelia and others might have stumbled upon the glory hole, man.
It was funny because I think that year, I think the person who won the costume contest, he had a claw machine costume and he was inside the claw machine. He made it himself and it had stuffed animals in it. And he put electronic stuff on it to where you can move the paddle and it would grab fucking stuffed animals out of it.
Damn, that's awesome. God, that's involved.
Me, him, and my one friend. And it was just the glory hole and the claw machine. And the claw machine was coming down. And I was just kind of going like that. And yeah.
That's amazing. That's intricate.
Yeah. So it's crazy. When was the last time 98 Rock did the Halloween stuff?
In Fells or just overall?
Just overall and NFL.
Fells probably died off in 2010 or 11.
Okay.
Maybe 12. Then we took it to some other places. And then, yeah, it just kind of, I don't know, it kind of petered out. It's not to say we wouldn't do it again, but yeah, we just, I don't know why. It was one of those ones we really enjoyed doing. It's one of those things where like we like doing it, but we're trying not to tell the same joke too many times or do the same bit too many times. So we used to do the bit where you'd bring a something that reminded you of a loved one and or some ex that like screwed you over, and we rented a steamroller on Valentine's Day and we would crush it with a steamroller. Yeah, we did stuff like that.
Did that at Padonia Station, like right
exactly where we did it, right out back of Padonia Station, then Padonia Ale House, and now I think it's a fertility clinic.
Yes.
So don't try the blue cheese.
But the Ale House thing is still outside. That's lever,
so weird.
Yeah, it's still outside, like just standing there in the ground. And I'm just kind of like,
I will not tell the story here because I would like to go to work tomorrow. But at some point when you and I get together, we have a beer, you, Matt, myself, I will tell you a story about the bathrooms at Padonia Station back in the day and the grift, the con that the busboys would pull there in regards to people being intimate in the men's room. And that's all I'll say. I can't wait to tell you about how so many of the busboys there made a real nice side hustle from
Jesus Christ,
from the handicap stall of the men's room.
We can imagine.
And it's funny. Justin, we're gonna let you go in a little bit because we're approaching an hour, and I know you got to be up early and all that. It's actually funny. Me and my wife, every year we used to do a big Halloween party at our house. And I think with like COVID happened last year, and I think we're just kind of getting older, so the parties are kind of fading away. So we're going to Salem.
Salem, Massachusetts, Salem.
Yeah. We just booked it. We couldn't find a place in Salem itself because apparently it's one of America's most traveled to destinations for Halloween. But also we didn't have Halloween last year. So, we forgot about that. So we booked a place kind of a little bit lower than Boston. So it's probably about like 30 minutes away, but we're going up there and
good for you, man. What a great way to come raging back. You ever done New Orleans for Halloween?
No, but I brought that up. I told her, I was like, I want to do like all the, like we mentioned Sleepy Hollow. Sleepy Hollow will be cool. That's cool. Definitely New Orleans. We've been to Mexico a handful of times, so we definitely want to see what.
If you want to do something local for Halloween that is just as spooky as I Am Pale, Point Lookout, Southern Maryland.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Point Lookout?
Yeah. That's St. Mary's County, right?
dude, look up Point Lookout, Southern Maryland, and some of the haunted horror behind its history and some of the like haunted attractions or tours. Anyways, there's not like a gift shop or anything. But it's like one of the most haunted places in the United States, if not the world, is in Southern Maryland at Point Lookout. It was a I think a Confederate, maybe a Union Civil War prison.
Really?
That had some of the most vile, nightmarish, straight out of a Stephen King novel conditions during the war. And they say the ghosts of just tortured and put upon soldiers haunt that place. And friends and I used to drive there as kids. And I mean, I'm a wide open book in regards to stuff that I want to believe or hope to believe and whatever. And I have seen and heard some shit down there. You got to go and see how long you can make it. Go after dark.
Yeah, definitely. Because I'm into all kinds of that kind of shit. My wife's not like, we're opposite like that. Like, she's just kind of like, I don't want to go do like all that really spooky shit. I want to see like some of Boston. And I'm like, we're going to a witches museum where it like shows how the witches were killed. Like,
we're going to Boston, Massachusetts, and I hear that this Boston Market rotisserie restaurant is haunted by a racist named Bernie, who was always mean to some of his co-workers of color. Ooh, Boston. Ooh, the racist haunted energy coming off of this.
That's a great pallbearer, by the way. And Justin, where can of course you got all kinds of stuff coming up, comedy shows, you guys have the murder mysteries. Where can everybody watching or listening at home find all of your stuff, all of your content, find you online?
If you would like to look me up, I am very minimal in my social media. I told Facebook to go pound sand, and Twitter and I had a bad disagreement about a year ago. So I am now only on Instagram. It seems to be the sweetest of all the modern platforms. So at Justin98Rock, but I do update it quite a bit at Justin98Rock. I have a show coming up next Saturday in Columbia. I would love to see people come out. It's on the 11th, which I get is a very odd anniversary to do a stand-up show on, but world moves on. And hey, and let's have a good day, a day of remembrance early on, and go out and have fun at night and say, hey, you know what happened 20 years ago? By the way, it'll be a 20-year anniversary of 9/11. Maybe go out and have yourself a good time that night to say, hey, you did your damnedest to affect our way of life. And look, we're laughing and clinking drinks, so you didn't do shit. I'm going to be at the Periodic Table in Columbia. There's a link for tickets because they do a lot of like mixology. It's like a lot of places where, like, if you get to order a Jack and Coke, a guy named Jack high on Coke brings it to you. I'm not sure, but like, there's a lot of like mist on top of the bourbon, and there's like, vodka infusions, and like an albino on a unicycle brings it to your table. So it's very like, if you like weird cocktails, Periodic Table, they do amazingly unique cocktails, and they got a great performance space. And if you click on the link in my bio on Instagram, Justin98Rock, myself, Eric Woodworth, who we talked about a little bit tonight, and my friend Ton Fleming are going to be there. So I'd love to have people come out for that. 98online.com for all the 98 Rock stuff, and dielaughingproductions.com for the murder mystery troupe with myself, Joe Robinson, Rob Mayer from the Rob and Joe Show, Eric Woodworth, Sean Gabbard, Tommy Simbazo, Katie Robinson, and hopefully you, the audience member, can play a role, because we always hire 4 or 5 people that night to play a role and maybe even solve, if not commit, a murder. So thank you.
And of course, shout out to Tommy and the rest of the crew, because they have been a huge help on the Happy Hour podcast. We love them. We've had them on, they've helped out. They've guest shot. I've been on Tommy's, Laugh Finder pod, and it's awesome. It's fun. I love those guys. They're some of my favorite guys. And Justin, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and let you rock and roll. Of course, everybody, we will be back on September 10th. We're filming this one a little bit early, so this will come out on September 12th for those of you listening on the audio version. And we will be back September 10th. Our special guest is adult film star Melina Kane. So we will be live with Melina Kane on Facebook. And September is going to be a little weird because I go on vacation. I'm going to Asheville, North Carolina. So it's booked a little weird. A couple of dates are, kind of double ups and all that. So, yeah, we will see you guys then. And we will see you guys next week right here on the Happy Hour podcast.